Hey guys, what's going on? Mike here from the Focus Garage, and in today's episode, I'm going to start it off a little bit different. Rather than having the camera pointed at me and having me talk and talk and talk, I'm going to show you what I've done. So, you may have seen a lot of YouTubers have been ceramic coating their cars with the Armor Shield 9 from Avalon King. This video is not sponsored by them. I went and actually purchased this on my own after seeing tons of people installing this on their car online, but not giving a lot of feedback. So, I purchased this myself, so this is going to be an honest review of what this looks like. The coating that I applied, or the vehicle that I applied this coating to, is my 2015 Jetta. So I'm going to kind of start the video off here by showing you around the vehicle, and then I'm going to go ahead and explain to you the process, how I felt that it worked for me, and how exactly that coating went on. So as you can see, this has insane reflective qualities. I'm not sure the lighting's picking it up in here. My phone might kind of be freaking out a little bit. But this has been sitting here in my garage kind of curing for about, I don't know, 26, 27 hours now. So when you apply this coating to your car, they say do not let the vehicle get exposed to any kind of water, rain, anything like that for 24 to 48 hours. So once I applied the coating to my car, I tried to let it sit for as long as I possibly could. And trying to focus on this here for you. So you can see there's a really kind of deep layer to shine to it. This paint is extremely reflective now. And if there's anything that I don't show in here that you guys want to kind of see closer on, go ahead and let me know. I even applied it to my vinyl wrap roof here. Let me see if I can get the kind of light reflecting that way. All right, here we go. Kind of, yeah. All right, so yeah, we've got this on the roof also, and you can see it's insanely glossy. Now, as with any ceramic coating, one thing you want to do is you want to prep the surface as best as you possibly can before laying down the coating. So, on this particular vehicle, since I prepped the coating, or not prepped the coating, but paint corrected the vehicle roughly about a year ago when I purchased it, there wasn't a whole lot of swirl correction to do. So that's not so bad, but the real test is going to be how this coating holds up. So we're going to get it out in the rain and in the weather over the next few weeks here. And I do plan on making a follow-up video kind of showing you guys, what are my thoughts and how this worked out. But as far as applying this coating goes, it's pretty simple to apply once you've got the car prepped. They give you a nice little spongy type thing here, which I'll cut and I'll show you to in a second. So they give you a little sponge with that, and you pretty much wipe the car on similar to you would with a wax. And then you go ahead and you wipe it off once it kind of sets to a haze, and then you let the car sit. So again, I'm just going to show you around the car, and then I'll kind of talk about my experience with applying it and what it looked like. But I did the lights. I didn't do the glass, but I did all the bumpers. I did the exhaust tips. Obviously, I did all the body panels. So you can see I did the hood here, and it's reflecting the lights from the ceiling very, very well. So kind of zoom in here. So you're seeing the two bars on the hood. That's a direct reflection of the lights that you're seeing on the ceiling there. So go ahead and check that out. I mean, it's really insane the way that this looks in here. And it is smooth to the touch. When I first put it on, it was kind of rough and kind of sticky. And as it cures, I've actually seen kind of more depth and more gloss set in here with the paint. So this is kind of what we've got. And like I said, it's crazy reflective here. It's not gonna, you can kind of see like the garage door back here. We've got this kind of just straight up mirrored in the paint. And the nice thing about this is it's going to help keep the car cleaner. So dirt's going to stay off of it. Salt's going to stay off of it. Any kind of road grime, that's all going to stay off of it. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around here, show you what you get with the kit, kind of explain to you what it's like to put this on your vehicle. Alright, so now that you've seen what the vehicle kind of looks like once it's coated, and like I said, if you guys do have any more questions, let us know and I'll try and film a better walk around of the vehicle for you. I'm going to tell you what the overall process for coating this car is like. Now, they give you very detailed instructions on how to go ahead and do this, and they give you two options. They give you kind of like a shortcut method if you really don't want to spend all the time and do the vehicle the tough way, and they also give you a full detailed instruction. With the full detailed instruction, it's pretty simple. If you've ever kind of prepped a car before for paint correction, or if you've prepped it before for my kind of like paint sealant, paint coating, anything like that, it's going to follow along the lines of that. So what I've done to this vehicle is you got to go ahead and wash it first. So wash and dry the whole car and make sure that you spend close attention to making sure there's no water left on the paint. Any water you've left on the paint is going to give you a hard time when you come later on in the process, whether it's swirl correction, or even applying the coating. So wash and dry the car, make sure it's as clean as possible. If you do have a lot of surface contaminants on the car, you're going to want to go ahead and clay the whole car. What the clay is going to do is it's going to pull all of the contaminants, again, off of the vehicle. Once you've clayed the whole vehicle, and I'm not going to get into how to clay the vehicle too much, you can use a little handheld clay bar, or if you really want to, you can go ahead and buy one of the clay mitts now that are very popular and prevalent that I've seen in the detail world. Either one of those will work for you and kind of get the job done. So clay the car. After that, you're going to want to make sure this paint is as perfect as possible, because any kind of debris that you have on the surface is going to get trapped in under the coating. So if you've got swirls, tar, bird droppings, anything like that that's staying in the clear coat or anything, once you put the ceramic coating on, it's going to be under that. So what you're going to want to do is, with a buffer, or by hand if you don't have a buffer, is paint correct the vehicle. Now there's a whole bunch of different ways to do this. What I use is a type of rubbing compound and a cutting pad to prep this vehicle. Like I said, the swirls weren't too bad. I did have quite a bit of tar on the car, so I could have used a tar remover, but I just used the cutting compound to take care of that. So I went ahead and I used my buffer that I bought from Harbor Freight, nothing fancy at all, and I compounded the whole car, literally front to back. It worked great on the front of the car for the bug guts, worked really well in the doors. I had a lot of tar buildup, took care of all of that, and you want to just compound the whole vehicle. If you've got light swirls, compound will work perfect. If you have something heavier, like a lot of swirls from automatic car washes that touch your vehicle, or using dirty rags, or if you've got a black vehicle, you may want to use something a little bit more aggressive than just like a standard kind of cutting compound. You may want to use like a heavy duty compound that's got a lot of abrasives in it. Again, this isn't going to be a video on how to detail, it's just going to be a video on how I compounded this, or how I ceramic coated this car. So I just used a pretty generic cutting compound. So compound the whole car front to back. What I found was very useful in my particular situation is I went around the whole car with a little handheld flashlight. You get these on Amazon or like a Home Depot, Ace Hardware, Lowe's, anything like that. And I went around the car with a flashlight and I looked at the paint up close with the flashlight to see if there's any kind of swirls or debris left behind that needs to be taken off. Because again, once you put this coating on, getting to that stuff underneath the paint is a pain in the ass. So take care of that beforehand. Also, with the back of my car, there was a lot of like road grime and stuff like that. So spend a lot of time behind the front and rear wheels and on the rear of the car where all the debris kind of gets recycled onto the back of the car. The more of a job that you can do removing that, the better your coating is going to look at the end, because as with any kind of thing paint related, your end result is only as good as your prep. So don't short yourself and try and rush through the prep work just so you can get the coating on, because then you're not going to be happy with the coating in the end. So the coating can only do so much, and the purpose of the coating is a protectant, and it's also a gloss coat. So not only is it going to protect your paint, but it's also going to add a kind of wet layer of gloss. So one thing that differs this from like a wax is a wax kind of makes it very, very smooth and soft to the touch, and it also kind of adds a layer of shine. I would say this is more like a wet look as compared to like a wax. It's hard to explain, but if you do go with this, you'll see. So anyways, once you go ahead and you compound the whole vehicle, remove all your swirls, remove the tar, remove any kind of bug guts, you're going to want to go ahead and prep the vehicle for the coating. Now, what they recommend, and this is always what I've seen, is you want to get isopropyl alcohol. Do not use hydrogen peroxide, and I guess isopropyl alcohol is different from rubbing alcohol. They're similar, but I guess there's some differences. So it's called IPA, isopropyl alcohol. Go ahead and use that. Wipe the whole car down, top to bottom. Any surface that's going to be coated, you want to wipe it down with isopropyl alcohol. The reason being for that is what that's going to do is it's going to remove any types of wax residue that is left on the car, and same thing with fingerprints. This will pretty much give you a fresh slate for the ceramic coating to stick to. If you don't do this, the coating is not going to bond to the car. So, you know how a lot of people will use compounds that have like wax and stuff based into that? It's cool for removing the scratches and swirls and hiding that stuff, but if that is left on the paint, this coating is not going to stick. It's going to fall off right away, and you're going to be shortchanging yourself and wasting your time. So wipe the whole car down with isopropyl alcohol. You can buy this from any grocery store, and you're going to be good to go with that. So once you've got the car washed, cleaned, clayed, compounded, and wiped down with isopropyl alcohol, you're ready to throw on this coating. So what do you get here that's important to throw it on? You get the coating itself here that comes in a nice little glass bottle, real official looking. It's got a nice little glass tinge to it there. And then they give you this little sponge to apply it with. It's got a hard side and a soft side. And then the way it basically works, and I'm not going to coat it right now because obviously the car's already been coated. So you wrap the rag around it here, and then here you go. So you'll basically apply the coating to this rag and wipe it on your car. I'm just going to show you on the window here. Obviously, you can ceramic coat your windows. I didn't because mine have been Rain-X already, but similar concept. So they want you to put it on in a horizontal motion, and then you want to go back with vertical motion. So horizontal and then vertical back through that area to make sure that you're coating everything. Depending on the temperature of the area that you're doing this, whether you're doing it outside or in a garage, they've got drying curing times. So basically wipe it on, and then depending on how warm it is, for me, in my situation, it took about 1 to 2 minutes before you go ahead and remove the coating. So wipe it on, let it sit. It'll kind of be sort of hazy, like a smear. You want to go ahead and wipe it off with a microfiber towel. The best approach I found with it is you want to take a brand new clean towel because you don't want any kind of dirt, debris, anything getting wiped on the paint. And use one side of the towel, wipe it, and then flip it to a clean side and wipe it again. This stuff is kind of tacky and can be challenging to remove at first, so I do recommend that you kind of use a little bit of force with it, otherwise you're really going to be hating yourself in the long run. So they said work in a 2x2 to kind of like 4x4 panel at a time, so I recommend just each panel on the car. So do a fender, do your hood, do your door, all one at a time. So apply the coating to the whole door with the little sponge that you get. Let it cure, and then wipe it off. And then you move to the next panel and so forth, because this is something you don't want to let set for too long, because one, it's going to be very difficult to remove, and two, you'll have high spots and low spots. If you put it on too wet in one spot and not wet enough in another spot, you're going to be stuck with like a smear kind of haze. And the way to fix it is very, very easy. You just go ahead and you recoat your rag and coat the whole area again, and it's kind of self-leveling. So as long as you're letting it cure for just the right amount of time, and they've got different brackets. If you're like 60 to 70 degrees, it's 1 to 2 minutes. If you're 70 to 80 degrees, it's a little bit longer, a little bit shorter. I'm not exactly sure. The instructions will kind of go ahead and clarify that for you. But just like that. So you go ahead and put it on, wait a couple minutes, usually 1 to 2 minutes, and then you wipe it off. Two sides of the microfiber I've learned was best. So wipe it one side, flip the rag over to a clean side, and wipe it again. And you want to just kind of rub the whole panel down back and forth until the rag is not catching anymore. And you'll know what I mean, because this is kind of a tacky type substance. So once the rag's not catching anymore, you're good. Go ahead and do that panel by panel on the entire car, and you can coat everything. They say you can use this coating on metal, plastic, glass. So you can go ahead and do your wheels, you could do all the body panels, you could do your glass, and I even did my exhaust tips because I don't want them getting dirty or getting rusted or anything like that. So emblems also, plastic emblems, that's all good. It's all fair play. They rate this coating for 3 to 5 years, which I guess is the strongest industry standard that you can have right now, as long as you care for it properly. You don't want to use any kind of cleaner waxes or cutting compounds on this moving forwards. You don't want to use any kind of abrasive soaps or anything that's going to break it down. You want to use very soft soaps and wash and dry the car. Wash using a two bucket method and dry it as you normally would with any kind of paint protected car. So, clean rags, maybe 2 rags if you want to be super safe, but that's it. So they rate it for 3 to 5 years. So I'm going to see if this holds up for that. I really hope that it does. But for the price, you cannot go wrong. I used one of the YouTubers' subscription codes, not subscription codes. I used one of the YouTubers' promotion codes that I found that was applying this coating to their car. And I think that this cost me like $45 shipped to my house. Most ceramic coatings are a couple $100, and if you pay a detail shop to install it, you're usually over $1,000. So the fact that I was able to do this with supplies that I had already laying around in my garage was pretty awesome. I was just out for the cost of the ceramic coating itself, and I think like a new cutting pad. So I did this for cheap. Time-wise, it took me 5 to 6 hours, and that will vary greatly depending on how much paint correction you need to do on your car. For me, it wasn't that bad. Like I said, I've corrected this car once already when I first bought it because I don't know, I'm crazy like that. I need my car to not be swirl or anything. So I did that. That was taken care of. Overall impressions. It is a little bit finicky to work with at first. When you start applying it to the car, it is kind of irritating that it takes a lot of effort to rub it off. I learned that that is dependent on dry time. So go ahead and play the dry time. Try wiping it off, quicker times, and then if you're having issues, try maybe letting it sit a little bit longer, and it might be easier for you to add or remove the coating once you put it on. So play with that, and that'll kind of give you that ultimate satisfaction. They do recommend do not let your car out in the rain or anything like that for 24 to 48 hours, and then also do not wash the car with any kind of soap for up to 4 to 5 days to let this coating adhere to the car properly. When I first put it on, I was kind of bummed out because it didn't look as glossy or as nice as I was expecting it to. I was really, really impressed by the time I finished, removing the tar and everything from the car, the tar and, compounding. It looked good then, but I really didn't see a lot of value when I first put the coating on. It wasn't until probably, I don't know, 5-6 hours after putting the coating on where I felt like the gloss and the depth of the shine and everything was really coming out. And that may just be that I'm crazy and it took me looking away from the car and then looking back at it to feel that it actually did something. Or maybe this actually does add more depth as time goes on. I'm not entirely sure, and I'm sure all of you detail freaks out there, or even, you know, Avalon King themselves may reach out to me and let me know that. Now, the car has been here, like I said, for a little bit over a full day, full 24 hours, and I am blown away by it. The paint feels, you know, nice and smooth. The depth on the shine is amazing, and it just, the car looks like it's wet almost. It's really impressive, and I cannot wait to see how this holds in the rain. So, you know, I can't wait for me to pull the car outside and just dump a bucket on it and see the water kind of fall off of it, because the hydrophobic properties are one of the things that really attracted me to ceramic coating a vehicle myself. You know, obviously you guys know if you're watching this, benefits of a ceramic coated vehicle is that bird crap, you know, road tar, bug guts, graffiti, anything, dirt, grime, it's all going to fall off the car easily, because what this is essentially doing is you have like this glass protectant that's filling in the pores in your vehicle's clear coat. So it's going to make cleaning it, waxing it, washing it a hell of a lot easier once you've got the ceramic coating done and applied. Woo! All right, I did that all in one take, and I think that is pretty much of what I wanted to say for this coating. Overall, I'm very much impressed. For the price, you cannot go wrong. We'll see if it holds up, and we'll see if it holds true to its promises of what it's supposed to do. But overall, you can't go wrong. For 45 bucks, and maybe if you've got to spend, you know, another $50 to $100 on detailing supplies, that's still a hell of a lot cheaper than paying somebody to do this to your car. And it is pretty DIY friendly. You can watch a lot of detailing tutorials on YouTube, or even if you want us to go ahead and do that and demonstrate something for you, we could probably do that. I've detailed a lot of cars in my life. I used to do details on the side for money, so I'm no stranger to the detail scene. Just make sure you have a good dual action polisher buffer. You'll be good to roll. I mean, it's really not that bad. Overall, I mean, I'm sure, I don't know how much you guys can see in the camera. It's very reflective, it's very, very glossy, and car looks fantastic. So I'll probably do a follow-up video for you guys. If you do have any questions, go ahead and drop them down in the comments below, and I look forward to reading them and answering them for you guys. Once again, this was the review of the Avalon King Armor Shield 9 coating, and we're gonna see how it holds up. I watch a lot of YouTube, a lot of automotive YouTube in particular, and I've seen people applying this to their coating. We've got Legit Street Cars, Tavarish, and a few others. I don't know, I feel like I've been seeing this go around a lot. So wanted to give it a try. You know, you can't go wrong for the small price that you pay for this, and this is my real results. There was no sponsoring in this video. This is exactly what I did to my car and how it turned out, so there's no bias with this. So it's packaged very nicely. It comes from somewhere in the USA. I'm actually in Illinois, and this came from Illinois, but shipping time was kind of slow. I'm not sure what the deal was with that. I'm rambling. I'm gonna let you guys go for this one. My name's Mike, coming at you from the Focus Garage, and we will catch you in the next video.